Hey, hey, hey! Welcome back to the Hooligans Pitch. It's a party one.
USA.
Man, I don't want to say I was nervous going into this game and this pod, but I was nervous if the game didn't go well, what this pod would be. And I'm glad I
Oof.
don't even have to worry about it.
There would have been a lot of complaining. There still will be complaining.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be with a smile on our faces, and how next Monday is a pivotal moment in
Yeah.
the future of this World Cup, this club, what this means for the future of American soccer, and how many people are, I feel like, more hooked on it than they've ever been before. It does help it's here, but I mean, at the last, what, we've been following it for now 4 or 5 World Cups at this point.
Yeah.
You get fans every 4 years that run through, but this one feels different. And
Yeah.
I'm thankful for it.
I mean, I think, being on home turf with game times that are good for just regular viewing, like you don't have to stay up late or wake up too early.
For sure.
Definitely helps. But I think just no other big events going on. Like NBA's done, NHL's done. I mean, there's just something in the air, I think, of perfect storm almost for this World Cup to just like suck in a lot of outside fans and hopefully bring them along and keep them around as
Join
actual
us.
fans.
Ride the
Yeah.
wave. We're here for a good time. Chad, I thought about this. I was sitting down
Mhm.
and I'm going through the survivor list and I'm crossing out names and snuffing some torches, and I look
Mhm.
at this list of teams that are still in it, and I can't help but think we got a crazy shot at this thing. And I know that's being
It's there.
optimistic,
It's there.
but anything can happen. And we look at the road to where we need to go. There's only really, in my head right now, a couple teams that I'm just like, I'm worried about you, I'm worried about you, and I'm worried about you. And to be fair, the Netherlands were on that list. And now that they're not there anymore, I'm like, wow, this feels beatable. Everyone feels
Yeah.
beatable right now, except for 1A and 1B. And if we get to play 1A and 1B and we lose to them, fair play.
Fair play. Yeah.
So I mean, do you just kind of want to go down the list here and just kind of say if we're better or worse than each team that's, I guess, still remaining at this point?
I think so. I think that sounds
Yeah.
doable.
So let's start with this one. Yeah, I'm on Foot Mob's bracket right now. If you want to just follow along,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go left to right, top to bottom. Paraguay.
I mean, we beat them once. We'll fucking do it again.
I mean, we absolutely should. We should do it again. I am way more worried going into round 2 because they've seen us. They know what we can do. It'll be a different matchup, a great rematch. Especially, I mean, one of the few teams that could probably go against someone they've already played in this cup. So that'd be super fascinating. Yeah, I think we can handle them. No problem.
Yeah, I think it'd certainly be a different game. I think Paraguay maybe was a little shocked at how US came out in that first game, but I think USA would still have the talent and tactical advantage over them.
I mean, the mental is there, right? We can beat anyone at this point. France, though. France is the one that is definitely the bolden on my list.
That's the one you need like every single player to be just playing out of their minds the entire game.
That France matchup against Sweden, I think we all knew Sweden was probably going to lose, but the way France did it, they just made it look so easy.
Yeah. It's
and you
they're
wonder
scary.
you wonder when they go 100%, and they could say they were going 100%. I don't believe it. I don't buy it yet. Their 100% is when they're going to be either losing or the World Cup final. And I don't think if they make the World Cup final, it's going to be way different from last time. I think they're coming out guns blazing, scoring 5 in the first half if they need to.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's they're kind of a hard team to read at this point just because we haven't really seen them like fully let loose and go for it. um, they've just kind of been able to cruise
Yeah.
to the wins, right? And like goals came along the way as they should, and um, yeah, it'll be interesting to see them go against Paraguay because I mean, look, Paraguay gave Germany a hard time, obviously, and took it all the way to penalties. And um, can you do that against France? I don't know. I think they have more technical players to get around you, get through you,
Right.
and find the goal. But come on, Paraguay, do it.
That'd be crazy. Would be crazy. I'm just gonna double up these guys. Canada, Morocco.
Mhm,
Now, I think Morocco's a solid team.
mhm.
I think I think they've been squeaking by in this tournament.
Yeah, they don't seem to have that same magic that they did last World Cup, where they kind of took a lot of teams by surprise. I think a lot of teams are just more aware of the talent they have now.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it doesn't feel like they've had a really great performance yet.
I agree with that. I think obviously what they did against the Netherlands was impressive, but I think the Netherlands played themselves, right? I
Yeah.
mean, they stopped showing the threatening side that they could have been with the speed and the
Mhm.
countering, and yeah, they just kind of they accepted one goal and said we're going to rock with this, and that just seemed ridiculous. um it's interesting to see the teams right now who do go up early,
Mhm.
and then the other teams seem to come clawing back.
Yeah.
We saw that with England. We saw that with, of course, Morocco. We saw that with
I mean, it's basically every
Brazil.
game.
Yeah, every game has been dramatic and feels like a huge, 90-minute winner.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's been fascinating to watch. But so Morocco, it would be a great matchup to go against Morocco, but I'm not. That's not the one where I'm absolutely devastated that we have to play them at some point in this
Mhm.
bracket.
Yeah.
If we go down, Spain and Portugal, I think are the big favorites to move on.
Sure.
I think we can group them in the same category too, where on our best day we can beat them, but we have to
Mhm.
be careful, right? Those are still some top 5 teams potentially in the World Cup. Um, it's almost like I forgot about Spain at this point. It feels like it's been forever since we've seen them play.
Yeah. It's they kind of have that same like France aura about them where it's just been kind of quiet, I
Yeah.
guess, like save for that first game against Cabo Verde, but um, beyond that, it's they've not really, hit the highlights that much. They've just kind of cruised, got through games. Um, I mean, they were still my pick to go and win the whole thing. So
You stand by it?
I I mean, I'll stand by it until they're out, but just going off of what teams have shown thus far, I'd say, France or even probably in Argentina look more likely than Spain. Like they look good,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't seem to have that killer instinct that both France and Argentina are able to just like pull out of a hat.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate. Um, okay, going down next, Belgium, who we play next week. Revenge
It's
game.
time for revenge.
Dude, this better not be some Belgium like, hey, we need to lock in now because
Yeah.
the USA is playing us, uh, and we're out for revenge. But watching the Belgium game today, dude, they were rough for 80 minutes,
Hmm.
and Senegal just kind of got lax, took out their midfielders who are the creators and the possessors, which is funny. The players that they brought out today were actually substitutes in the last game. So
Oh,
interesting tactic to pull those guys, which I thought was kind of early too. It was in the 60th minute. You're cruising along. It's like
yeah.
you don't want to mess around this game, and that's exactly what happened. And then of course the PK comes in at the end. Um, it's I think we both agree it's the right call.
Yeah.
Would you have been shocked if it wasn't a PK at the same time?
No, not at all. I mean, from that first angle we were shown, I was on board that not a PK.
Yeah.
It was just that like I think the more like aerial view where you
Yes.
can see like where their legs cross a little bit. Um, So yeah, like, is there contact and is it a foul? Yeah, probably, but at the same time, it seems like one of those could go either way. And like I said, this is probably the correct, more correct call, but yeah, I mean, bummer for Senegal to one to throw it away, but then two to get so close to taking it to penalties and then gave away a penalty.
Oh, dude, so brutal. I felt for them, but at the same time, they stopped playing the way that got them to that position.
Yeah, you got to play
Um,
your game.
so that was tough to watch, and I think VAR did the right thing in stepping in there since the ref didn't call it on the pitch. But now we can pivot to
Uh-huh.
the USA game
Uh-huh.
and the red card that was given today. You could take 1,000 pictures a game and probably
Mhm.
find 50% of the things in there to be red cards, from an elbow to the stomach to a shin guard hitting, or I'm sorry, when a boot's hitting a knee. Like,
Mhm.
you can nitpick a bunch of stuff here, and this was just not one of them. This was two players going for the ball, not even looking at where each other were.
Yeah.
You can't call it a dangerous play. You can't call it a violent act. He was in the air and then
Mhm.
stepped, and the guy's Achilles was there. Now, was it uh, a tough thing to see on this on the freeze frame? Absolutely. That, like, yeah,
Sure.
that looked gnarly. But that wasn't that. There's no common sense behind just a freeze frame,
Yeah.
right? You got to read the play and see what was going on in it to get to that point.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you were watching the Fox broadcast, but they have Mark Clattenburg as their like
Yeah,
ref analyst guy that they call in, and he was basically saying the same thing. It's like you slow anything down, it's gonna look way worse. So one, take it at game speed, but two, take in the context of that moment, right? Um, and he was in agreement that yellow card at most. Like yes, it sucks that it was a hard step, but unintentional. And again, just two guys kind of jockeying for position to get that ball. An accident, a painful one, I'm sure, but like it sucks that one, he's removed from this game, but then also the next game on a call that prior to VAR stepping in, I don't know that he was gonna give any card, right?
nope, he was ready to move on.
And it sucks that I just last time gave flowers to VAR for trusting the on-field decisions, and here we are, things have flipped.
Things have flipped, and it makes me
So
wonder, because it was a red card um situation, that's why
mhm,
they stepped in. But again, we saw this very similar act with Messi a week ago,
yeah,
and as comparable as it is, Messi's was, I think, worse, because it looked like he had clear, I don't want to
he
call
was
it
chasing him
intent,
down,
but that's what I'm
like
saying. Yeah, he was chasing him down and
yeah,
caught him. This was
mhm,
so different from catching someone while chasing someone down. This was
yeah,
going for the ball here, and both players could have done it simultaneously to each other. Would they both get red cards if the same thing happened, where he caught his foot too? Right? There's a lot of question marks here.
yeah,
Um, so we can appeal it. No appeal has ever, I don't want to say been used, but has ever worked in the World Cup. I'm not sure. I tried to find out, has anyone
mhm,
tried to appeal a red card. There's not really good history behind that, but no one has gotten out of a red card in the World Cup before.
yeah.
I think we have a strong chance for multiple
I mean,
reasons,
you got to throw the appeal out there anyway. Like I don't think there's any
for sure.
downside to doing that. My thinking is one, I don't know if they would use the Messi example and like make a comparison. And two, I think because there is contact and it probably should have at least been a yellow card. I don't think they'll overturn it, unfortunately. But maybe they look at at bigger picture a little bit of the context of that play, and the severity of a red card to again like take him out of the following game. Like at the end of the day, this is World Cup is FIFA's product that they're selling, so they want it to be as good as it can be. So fingers crossed, they're looking for the best show that can go on, but I'm not hopeful of an overturn.
You don't think big man up top's gonna make a phone call and say, "Hey, the peacemaker here. Uh,
Maybe
if there
we'll
was
see.
ever a time for a corrupt government chat, it is for this reason right here, to make sure we
Finally,
are
it's
we're
paid off.
we're fully fit for Monday's game. Hey, Will just popped in chat. There's no mechanism to overthrow a red card per the Athletic, only to extend the ban, which is crazy. I'd like to check
Oh.
that. I read somewhere that they could appeal it, but extending the ban. I think it's crazy in the first place in a tournament scenario like this that a red card carries over unless there is
Yeah,
some egregious, insane, violent act
yeah.
that you had no
I was
choice, like Suarez biting someone. Like, okay, yeah,
sure.
we need to do something about this. But in this situation, a suspension for it in the knockout rounds, it's
Yeah, I
crazy.
was talking to my dad about that too. It's like, it's you almost need like a second tier of red card in a knockout competition like this because yeah, a accidental foul, a you know, poor second yellow, whatever, cool, you're out of the game. But for that to carry on to the next game as like the same punishment as like an actual violent act like biting someone or punching
Or
or whatever, like
Hincapié last night,
yeah,
right? Oh, he was asking for that. We'll talk about that in a little
he
bit. But that
wanted it,
was
yeah.
that was. But like, so we're categorizing those as the same thing. That's There's a problem with that in my mind. There is a problem with that.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, I get why they kind of try and keep it the same, so you can't just go out and be like crazy with this, and then it just resets next round. But
Sure.
at the same time, I think because it's knockout rounds and both teams are gonna be fighting till the end on this, so like some things will get a little ugly, and if it gets out of hand, cool, card it appropriately. But um, yeah, I don't think everything needs to transfer to the next round, but I just don't know how you make that distinction in like the cards that we have at our disposal right now.
We'll see. We'll see
Yeah,
if some phone calls are made.
goodness.
All right, let's get back to our game here. Brazil, Norway. So again,
Hmm.
depending on what day you're going to play them, right?
Yeah.
I thought Norway playing Ivory Coast was solid,
Hmm.
but nothing unbelievable, right? If they didn't have
Yeah.
Holland on this team, I would say easy win, but you just never know what
Yeah.
that guy's gonna bust out. Um, Luckily, as we talk on this side of the bracket here, if we're playing these teams, we made it to the finals, so
True.
big deal, right? Big
Look, I'll
deal.
I'll take a USA Norway final. That sounds great.
I'll go down this whole list. I'll take any of them. And then Brazil going against Japan. Um, another very, very, I don't want to call it lucky, but a scenario where Japan looked like the dominant team for most of that game
Mhm.
and they laxed. They got complacent, and
Yeah.
then Brazil just chipped their way back in. And that's what these good teams are going to do, right?
Yeah.
The ones who are going to be here at the very end when we get to the semifinals are the teams that are just not going to stop coming at your door and trying to score a
Yeah.
goal. And the stars rise up, right?
Hmm.
So that's
Yeah.
going to be
I mean, I think I'd feel more confident taking on Norway than I would Brazil, certainly.
mhm.
But I think Brazil, I think that
FIFA
you
World
could
Cup.
frustrate them easily. Like, I don't, I almost think you don't want an early goal against Brazil because then that kind of wakes them up and energizes them. You almost need to like drag it out a little bit, get them frustrated, stop their attacks and I mean, easier said than done, obviously, but
Right.
make it tough for them to really get in the flow of things. And then hopefully, spring a counter and you score. But um, I think it'd be an interesting matchup. Like they certainly have a lot of individual talent there, but I guess your only real threat is the late Martinelli sub. That seems to be the go-to dagger in these games.
Dude, the Don with these substitutes that game. I was questioning him, and I'm like, I can't question
Yeah.
this guy. What do I know? Um, yeah, the Don man just showing up.
Yeah.
Now I think as we go into round of 16, I think this matchup is just fascinating. Mexico, England.
Yeah.
England's favored, but I can't imagine by much.
Uh, Someone posted. I think England was favored to win. They were at like 56% chance of winning.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not much. Um, but it's almost like, as much as I was talking about, the USA fans getting behind their team and what that can do for the players and everything, like the Mexican fans at Azteca, that's a different beast. One that I don't know that England has like really had to deal with before.
Not on this side of the globe, right? I'm sure they've played in
Hmm.
some brutal environments in Europe and hell, probably even Russia at this point.
Yeah,
They especially during the World Cup, but Azteca's different. You're a
yeah,
mile up. You have, I think, at max capacity, it's like 110,000. That was like for a boxing match, but just imagine the same
yeah.
type of feel, right? It's going to be a shit ton of people. They look gassed. England looked gassed today in Atlanta,
Hmm.
and I just can't imagine, especially with the way Mexico came out against Ecuador,
Hmm.
to have the similar, hey, we need to come back now into this game. I don't think Mexico's going to allow that. Mexico's been the biggest surprise for me. I slandered them at the beginning of this tournament. I'm eating my words every time they go up against a team. I'm like, they're not going to do it. They
Yeah,
keep doing. Now I'm like, prove me wrong. Like
sure. Yeah, yeah.
you're on a run right now. Use that momentum to your advantage. I mean, if I had a choice, Chad, Mexico USA World Cup final would just,
Oh,
oh,
that'd be nuts.
dude, that is the dream right there.
Yeah,
Um, but I genuinely believe they can beat England.
I think so. I mean, like
England
England, I
showed me
think
nothing today, by the way.
nothing today, and almost throughout all of group stage too, right? Like they were
Uh, yeah,
good, but it was never like the Harry Kane show or the Anthony Gordon, Bukayo Saka bombing down the wings, just cutting up the defense over and over. Like there's been no real standout. Like almost similar to Spain for me. It's like they're winning, they're getting by, but it's apart from like Kane's 2 goals today, I'd say there's been like zero killer instincts. And yes, he did it today, but they left it pretty late. And yeah, they're certainly getting worried at that point of like what's about to happen. You
yep.
see the shots of all the fans and they're getting quiet. They're stressing. Like I don't know. I think it'll be a really fun game to watch. But man, I think they got their work cut out for them.
I'm not saying they can't be happy after a win like today, but they almost look too happy singing Wonderwall back at the crowd. Uh, Everyone was smiling, and it just like the vibes were amazing. But you're playing the DR Congo.
Yeah,
This team,
Wamba Saka. It's
FIFA rankings,
crazy.
number 46.
Yeah.
Shout outs DR Congo, by the way. Fantastic game. Um, Harry Kane just decided to turn it on you guys,
Yeah.
and that's what stars do. But honestly, I thought Congo was gonna do it for. I mean,
Yeah, me too.
how many minutes did they keep them? Yeah, 75 minutes. So close, so freaking close. Um, it was impressive to watch. I think these African teams that got bounced out today, Senegal and Congo, and we're probably going to see Algeria to follow and possibly Ghana soon next, but
Hmm.
definitely came to play, right? They took it as deep as you could go with especially Senegal today and Congo going as far as they did,
Hmm.
keeping England scoreless. I mean, I saw Tuchel yelling at Jude,
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
figure stuff out with Harry. When I saw Harry clearing a ball at his own penalty box with it was like the 30th minute, I said, "Oh shit." I was like, this is 2022 all over again. He
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just in his own head that he needs to do everything, but he doesn't do that at Bayern.
Yeah, I think it's I mean, he spent a lot of time at Tottenham, right? And like that's
That
what he had to
mentality
do there.
screwed him
He
up.
had to do it. He's really good at it, but unfortunately, then it leaves him, so far behind the attacking play. Um, so I'd be very surprised if Tuchel didn't really try and drill that in his head of just like trust the rest of your team. Like you can drop back a little, but for the most part, stay up. Um, I don't know. Maybe once things kind of go sideways, he starts to be, just he wants to help the team, obviously, which is great. But then
Yeah.
maybe to the detriment of his position at that point. But yeah, certainly not the spot you want him. Not that early in either. You need the goals. You want him to stay towards the top and feed him the
Yeah.
ball. But
There was a certain point when it was probably around the 60th minute or so where you could actually hear Tuchel yelling on the pitch
mm,
for players on where to go and what to be. And, you don't really see coaches, I think, doing that too much to a specific, you need to do this so that can
yeah,
happen out loud. I mean, he's kind of like, he was like backseat gaming almost and
yeah,
telling them where the ball needed to go. Um, I mean, you take away the expanded World Cup and we start knockouts right now. Uh, England's got to be out of all these teams in this round of 16 on the lower end based on what we've seen so far, which is
yeah.
crazy to say, but
It's not crazy to say, but
that's the energy I'm getting.
it and it just tracks so well for this English team, right? Like
Makes no
so
sense.
often they have the squad to go deep in these tournaments, and sometimes do, but a lot of times it feels like they just kind of fall flat. It doesn't click or something. Like
Right.
I don't understand why, but um, you think Tuchel's hoping or wishing he brought in like a Cole Palmer into the squad, or
It's
who
funny.
else?
The
Jared Bowen, like
Jared Bowen and Phil Foden. I mean,
Trent, like
Trent. I think the Trent one definitely. I think
yeah,
having him on that right side instead of Jed Spence would make a difference.
mhm.
Um, I don't know. The announcers even said that today. Like, I bet you wish you had Cole Palmer right now. I was like, is he like is he the answer here? Like, I can't imagine that being the answer. I was more
Yeah.
surprised when they brought in Anthony Gordon, which Anthony Gordon, you did excellent today as a super sub.
Mhm.
Um, I thought Morgan Rogers or Ollie Watkins were going to come in. I thought they were going to try to
Mm.
split up the striking force so all the attention wasn't on Harry at the top of the box. Um, so I was surprised by the subs that Tuchel made. Obviously, it panned out,
Yeah.
but I don't think it was the subs that that made the difference here. I
Yeah.
think it was very much Harry. Um, I mean that second goal he had was just
Cool.
perfect. It was just perfect. Um, but he had opportunities. I think last game on a wide open net and totally whiffed
Yeah.
it. So Harry's not perfect all the time. You can't just rely on Harry to score all these goals, which he's at 5 now. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Um. Yeah. 4 or 5. He's
4 or
right in there.
5, and England has scored a total of 7 goals now. So we've seen a Bellingham goal, a Rashford goal, and another Bellingham goal.
Mm.
And to be fair, Bellingham didn't play that great today.
No.
And you can only rely on Kane for so long. Someone else needs to show up. So I'm curious what other forwards can and will against Mexico, because they're different beast right now.
Yeah. Just going looking through their squad, like you're gonna have to do something because Mexico's gonna come at you with a lot of speed, a lot of
Right,
quick play,
right at the start.
right at the start, and I mean, even just looking through. I mean, at this point, I don't know if Declan's making the game. He came off,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a picture of him with big ice block on his thigh or leg, and um, so that'll be a big miss. Reece James is still out. I don't know. You got Jordan Henderson you can throw in there. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's not only a Mexico team that's like kind of on fire right now, but it got the altitude, the fans behind them, home field advantage. It's gonna take a lot.
It's a recipe for disaster, honestly.
Yeah.
This could lead to a Tuchel tenureship ending in England. I think if Tuchel does not make the semifinals, I think he's out. He's out, especially against Mexico. All right, let's skip a beat here. Does Cape Verde have a chance?
I'm believing.
You really, but like,
look, we saw Paraguay do it. Why not another?
Because that was Germany, man.
Yeah.
I know Germany's a solid, like, can be a solid squad, but they haven't made it out of. They haven't won a knockout game since 2014.
Yeah, no, I get it, but I want to believe that there's some magic left in this world, and
I would like to believe.
Yeah,
this is just not the right matchup. If it was like
it's the worst matchup they could have hoped for, but
it's if you want to tell the grandkids someday, best matchup you could have asked for, right? But in terms of Argentina's pathway to the finals, they definitely got the easier side of the bracket, in my opinion. I think we can argue there is one team probably standing in their way, and I think they can handle them pretty nicely. That if I had to say it myself, it's going to be Colombia. But Colombia hasn't been. They've been good. But nothing amazing, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think if USA has to go against Argentina here, that's another France-like team where I'm a little worried. You know, we've played Argentina in the past before, and they've kicked our ass. Like I'll never forget when we went to the grad. I don't know if you were there. I feel like you were. We went to the grad. They won 4-0. I think it was Copa. Gosh, it had to have been like 2016 or something.
Yeah, I feel like I was there for that.
I think you were there, and it was over before we started. And actually, I'm gonna find it right now. I think it was 2016. Oh, yep, there it is, June 21st, 2016. So Argentina scored at the 3rd minute with Ezequiel Lavezzi, 32nd minute with Messi, and then Gonzalo Higuain at the 50th and 86th.
Man.
So, but Chad, if you saw our lineup,
completely different.
It makes you cry. It makes you cry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's our revenge game too. So hope we get there.
That's it. If we just want to go on this like revenge tour, I'm totally down. Let's just like keep knocking them off the block and.
Yep. Portugal, right?
Portugal.
We drew them, I believe. In
yeah, I think so.
2014. Yeah, we drew.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. So, look, if Ronaldo wants to say he's back, he's got to come through us to prove it. So,
Australia, Egypt. I think that's a solid matchup, but
I think that's going to be a fun one, honestly. You know, I think both teams are going to be really up for it. I think it might just kind of be back and forth, honestly. Like, I don't know that either one will really sit back in the way that, you know, like a Paraguay did or anything. It's
like a coin toss pretty much in my mind.
Yeah.
I would love to see Mo move on. Give me some solid Messi energy next game. That's I know, right? Two legends who are on the end of their time. That'd be sick. And then Switzerland, Algeria, another toss up for me. I think when Algeria shows up, they're pretty good. And Switzerland has kind of been like back and forth on what they want to be.
A little disappointing for me, I think.
Yeah, I'd say so. But it's crazy. They won their group, right?
Yeah.
It's just in small fashion. Nothing too exciting. And Algeria kind of came storming back late and found their way into the knockout stage. So fascinating matchup there. I think it's a coin toss. Man, if I had to pick a team though, I mean, you have to lean Switzerland a little bit, but it's not much. It's not much.
Honestly, I think I'm going Algeria on it.
My head is saying Algeria. I just look at. I think I'm saying Switzerland out loud because I know the players.
Yeah, I think on paper and maybe just knowing Switzerland a little bit more, yeah, it feels like they should win. But
Yeah,
I think Algeria, you clawed your way back into this position basically. So I think they're just gonna have this little extra push. Yeah, I mean I think it'll be a fun one as well. Both teams. I mean, at this point, you gotta leave it all out there. So it's gonna be back and forth. I think Algeria might just be like more suited to that kind of play though, like chaos, just let it flow, and
mm-hmm.
I think Switzerland wants to play a little bit more controlled, and I don't know, that's going to be that kind of game.
Hope it is. Colombia, Ghana, last one on the list.
Mm,
We expect Colombia to take this.
yeah,
Ghana doesn't have the
but
talent
they
that they
don't.
used
But
to have. But it wouldn't shock me, right?
it
It's
wouldn't shock me. Yeah, it's like we said, Colombia's been good. They've had some great moments. Um, but I think that's it. Like, not to knock them down or anything, but it feels like it could go either way.
They beat Uzbekistan 3-1. They beat
Mhm.
Congo 1-0. They drew Portugal 0-0. Right? Nothing in there
Yeah,
is saying, okay, this team is kind of locked in, figured it out.
yeah,
The DR Congo win's impressive, but it took them 75 minutes to get there off of a Munoz great, fantastic run. And,
yeah,
take him away from these games. You had Diaz scoring, I think, one goal.
yeah.
And then they had that crazy cross at the end of the game against Uzbekistan to
Oh,
seal it, right? So it's like,
yeah,
what goals they've scored because there have been so few. So again, Colombia is, you could argue, on better on paper, but dude, this Ghana team might just get gritty and lock it down. I mean, Semenyo has been quiet
yeah.
this whole cup.
Kind
If
of forgot
there's
he was there.
Yeah, right. If there's ever a time to do something, it is tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? I think it's tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh no, 2 days,
Friday.
right?
Yeah, Friday,
Friday.
6:30.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's, again,
Yeah.
the whole goal is this was to say who USA can beat, and we said a lot of teams.
Look, it's like you said earlier that the good teams will, play their game until the end, basically, and whether that's in the lead, looking for a goal, whatever. And so far, I feel like USA has kind of stuck to their game plan. Like even today, going down a player, obviously had the 1 goal lead already, so that helps. But I was really glad to see that we didn't just try and sit back and defend it the whole time, or just get the ball and clear it up and try and just kill the game that way. Because that Bosnia team, while they have some threats, I don't think they ever showed enough to really worry us, other than maybe the corner kicks, because that dude is 6'7". That's crazy. But so like I'm glad they stuck to their game and kept pushing for another goal, or at least making threatening attacks. Because then yeah, Bosnia had to back off a little bit, respect the counters and all that, and we got the free kick out of it, and Malik's great winning goal. So I feel like this USA team, maybe for the first time since we've really been following, has like an identity that works. Other ones obviously had an identity, but like it was basically just like, if it's not Landon Donovan or Clint Dempsey, then I don't know what's gonna happen.
You're so right. It's the sharing of possession, the control
Yeah,
of the midfield, the
like some of those passing movements and triangles as they move through the
I
team,
know,
like that's what I want to see.
the Robinson, Pulisic, Tillman, Adams'
Mhm.
just combination on that left side of the pitch was just like a dream. It just looked like a dream. And then seeing Des kind of be the right winger too, I was like, this is
Yeah.
unusually abnormal to what I'm seeing Des do. I love it.
Yeah.
I'd much rather him be playing up there and having Freeman back him up. I think Freeman's so much better of a defensive player.
Yeah.
So everyone just kind of is falling into the perfect place at the right time.
Mhm.
And what we did today, unlike teams who would go up and then just sit back and just, chip away at clock, we did the literal opposite of that. And the announcers
Yeah.
even said they might take out Pulisic to conserve their energy on defense. I
Yeah.
was like, that's a terrible decision. It's like, we
Yeah.
need to still show that we're a scoring threat here and stretching the field. I was like, I do not want to. If that last 30 minutes would have been us packing the box and just like clearing every ball away from Bosnia, I think we would have lost.
Yeah, I mean, certainly would have went to extra time, I think. Because like I said, that one dude 6'7", the other guys are not far off of that. It looked like at a certain point, Bosnia's going to throw every tall person they got in that box, just keep crossing it, right? And look, Tim Ream, Chris Richards, they're good, but to take cross after cross, it takes a lot out. So yeah, sitting back would have been the worst plan. Taking off Pulisic right away after that would have been just the such the wrong like show of intent, I guess, for the team, for the fans. You even heard the fans like still like get behind the team and cheer them on and try and push them forward, I guess, right? And maybe that helped. I'd like to believe it did help. And here we are. We got the second goal. Then okay, yeah, then you can make your
Yeah, for
changes.
sure.
You got some cushion there. Um, so yeah, I'm glad they stuck to their game plan. I'd like to think they probably watched all these other games before them and saw how fragile some of these leads can be.
Yep.
And that was a big message of like push forward, get the lead, and then we can control like. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, the team's making me believe, which is I think the best you can hope for in a knockout competition, right? So Belgium's for the taking. They have some great players on there. It's not clicking. I think we click better.
If we would have played Belgium today, we would have beat them. I
Absolutely.
hope we keep the same mentality. My favorite, as far as mentality goes, when the red card decision came out against Balogun, immediately Pulisic, grabbed his head and said, "We got this."
Yeah.
There was no one complaining. They
Mhm.
went right back to the drawing board, and Poch got to I think it was Adams, and said something to him, and then it kind of panned out. But there was no like devastation or like, what
Yeah.
are we gonna do now? It was like, okay, let's figure it out. Let's go to work, and then let's keep going. Um, you know, eh, I don't want to rip on Senegal too much, but I kind of have to here because of how
Yeah.
much they complained after the PK.
Mhm.
And was it a devastating moment for them? Absolutely, but it wasn't a moment of we need to throw this ourselves to the ground, right?
Yeah.
And pity party, you messed up. You got to own it. And that's how USA felt, I think, in that moment is okay. The red card happened for a reason, obviously. Let's figure it out and go back to work. Now, should have never been a red card. We've already talked about that. Balogun was,
Yeah.
I think, just absolutely shocked by that decision.
Yeah.
It looked like he was ready to ball. I think he was probably waiting to get to the locker room to
Yeah.
just release every emotion that was bottled up right there. I mean, you could see it. He was like, it looked like he wasn't breathing. And then you saw his eyes get pretty watery there.
Yeah.
It was a moment of just like, for me, it was like, oh shit. Because today we saw teams crumble when pressure
Mhm.
got to them, and this team showed that that wasn't going to happen. So like, it just makes it even harder now to watch these future games and see what other bullshit could come our way.
Yeah.
and
You
possibly
know,
lose because of it.
for all the games having like some level of drama, I felt like this one wasn't going to. Like we were played a good first half, end up getting a goal. It felt like very straightforward by the books. Like, yeah, Bosnia would end up pushing up more, so that I thought the drama was just going to be like late game, crazy crosses into the box kind of vibe. And
Desperation mode.
yeah, but I thought like it felt like it was just going easy peasy, straightforward as we all wanted it to, and then here comes this red card out of nowhere, and
Well, the ref was making some questionable decisions
yeah,
on
yeah, yeah,
on what was a foul and what was or wasn't a card, and it was definitely like I was starting to like
yeah,
groan out loud, being like, okay, like I guess that's not a foul, or okay, I guess that's not a card. And like I wonder what will be a card.
yeah,
And then I think the first card came out. Yeah, first card of the game was Balogun. And then from there it was like just kind of unraveled in his like decisions on what was going to be a foul from that point on. And the fact
yeah,
the fact that we didn't see any yellows up until the 80th minute and it was to the coach to get us started. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah.
Strange to say the least.
It was, and it at the start of this game, the commentators mentioned how this is like a super experienced World Cup ref, like yada yada. But man, it just seemed like not that the occasion was too big, but just he almost couldn't decide, yeah, like how he wanted to call the game, and then here's this like VAR moment, and he took it, but I don't. I mean, I think he was right in his initial call, right? Like, I think that maybe it was just one of those VAR moments that we see so much in the Premier League, where it's like, oh well, they sent me to the monitor, so it must be the opposite. Um, and yeah, I mean, maybe you could say too, like on those replays, that they need to show a little bit more, just so they do get the full context of a play instead of that like little one
Mm-hmm.
2 second snip. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is at this point. But um, it's very close to just throwing the whole game off. But like you said, I think it was a really strong sign that yeah, there was no overreaction, and like it never felt like panic mode necessarily. Like maybe that first 5 minutes after the card, where Bosnia then felt the like they could push up more, which they sure did. They definitely got more possession at that point. But then I think once USA got the ball back, it was like, oh, we can still play this game our way, and we're better than this team. And they went and did it.
They were very full once they got the ball. After that, I think just the next possession, and they went across half and were starting to, I mean, literally attack the goal. I said,
Mhm.
whoa, whoa. I was like, I did
Yeah.
not expect that. And there were times too when we could have attacked, and we possessed. We said, hold on. There was a time
Yeah.
when I think it was Des wanting the ball, and I think maybe Weston had it, and Des was making the run, but Weston said, "There's
Mhm.
no need for this right now," and he brought it
Yeah.
back, and we controlled it, and then we worked our way up the pitch. So, having those guys in Europe playing at Champions League level and top tier football and learning how to control and pace a game when down a man is so helpful here. I
Oh yeah.
mean, you take us back 10 years and it's like I think we would have been kind of running around like headless chicken type
Yeah.
style of football, not really knowing what to do. Um, so yeah, this is just gonna make make the inevitable harder when it eventually gets there. When we go against a giant and they punish us just for not being as talented as them. But damn, do
Yeah.
we have the right mental to win this whole thing? And I think that's
Yeah.
what I'm most proud of. And I didn't expect it. I was day one
I
that
mean,
Paraguay game. They showed up, and I said, "Okay, we got
all
something."
all the games leading up to it, except for maybe that like one or two right before the World Cup, like we looked miserable. Like
Yeah,
I don't know any US fan that I talked to that was like
Oof,
confident.
dude. Especially that Germany game when it was just like I was like, I get it. This is like a couple days before the cup starts, but this isn't what I wanted to see.
Yeah, and I get like a lot of that is the process of finding the players that fit your system and the system you want to play and working all that out. But on the fan side, it's just so hard to watch. Like it just doesn't look like it's clicking because it probably wasn't, right?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, for them to show up and day one just, I guess, kind of just prove to everyone like we're here to play, we're ready to go, was huge. And yeah, I think whenever our time comes, I think as long as we go out playing our game, we don't pull a Netherlands and try and change up our tactics too much. Like I'd rather go out playing our game, leaving it all out there and
Exactly.
doing the best we can rather than like change too much for the occasion. So
Yep. Yep. Nicely put. As we go into fantasy here and just the next couple of rounds, we got a quick turnover. Round of 16 starts Saturday. I'm sorry. It is Saturday. 10 a.m. Canada, Morocco. So it's a quick week. It's crazy how we're kind of at the end of this thing.
whoa.
Yeah. Um,
Oh
it's
boy.
quick.
Okay.
We go into the weekend. I think we get a break next Wednesday. Round of 16 ends on Tuesday. We get a break Wednesday. We go into quarters on Thursday.
Thursday.
And then I think the semis starts Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
Semis on Tuesday. Then Wednesday. Then we break. Third place game is on Saturday, the 18th. The final is on 19th. So it's crazy.
Wow.
It feels like, there is 19 days left of this thing, but it is a compacted bracket
Yeah.
coming in here. So games are going to move fast. I think fatigue might be an issue for some of these teams as the traveling is going to be far depending on where you're
Sure.
coming from.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to watch to see who has to go the furthest. Luckily, USA gets West Coast. If we keep moving on, I think for 2 more
Oh yeah.
rounds.
Yeah. We go Seattle. Then if we go through, it's back to Los Angeles
Yeah.
and then to Dallas. So not even
When's
too far.
Los Angeles would be July
July 10th,
10th.
Dallas the 14th, and then finals New York.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, look, we kind of mentioned it last time, and we kind of mentioned it just in conversation, but FIFA kind of cooked with the expanded tournament. This round of 32. I mean, groups for the most part, I think were a hit. I think there were
Couple duds.
a couple duds in there, but I think most group phases probably have some duds in there. But I think this round of 32 really took me by surprise. Partly starting with like the Germany Paraguay game, but just how much teams are like really going for it. And I get it. It's knockout, but I think for a lot of these teams where it's like it is the first knockout, I think that probably adds a little extra, spice in their game, and they want to move on obviously, but also like put on a good showing. And I mean, if you told me this was like round of 16, I'd probably believe you too. It's like the games feel like they have that level of
Yeah.
importance.
Yep. Very much so. I think the only one that really has just been a total snoozer was the France Sweden game.
Yeah.
Everything else has had drama or even the Mexico Ecuador game, no goals from Ecuador, but it never felt like Mexico was fully
Mhm.
running away with it, right?
Yeah.
Ecuador was always kind of lingering, didn't do anything drastic, but that was the out of all these other games, USA did win by 2, but didn't feel like that for the longest time, and all these other games
Yeah.
are, it's a 1-score game, all of them outside of
Yeah,
France.
and I mean a lot of those are late deciding goals too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, PKs or 90th minute or 120th minute.
sheesh.
I mean, we were kind of when we were talking with the fantasy football group, it was like we did the first, I think, 5 games, and it was 5 out of 5 drama with every game. Something dramatic at the end got us to a final score. So yeah, round of 32 has been super fun. Um, round of 16 should be even better.
Yeah.
I imagine it has to be, just because these teams are truly going for it. We'll see how the weekend pans out. Cape Verde,
I mean, just make it tough. That's all I ask. You know,
they could, they have.
Good. That and that's it. You know, you've done it against Spain, and every other team you face basically. Just keep up that energy. At least make Argentina work for it. If I just don't want it to be I don't want it to be a Argentina versus USA from 6 years ago or whatever it was, 10 years ago.
Yeah, you know, if there ever is a time for Argentina to do it, though, it's going to be this round.
Yeah,
I don't think they have it in them to do a 4-0. I think Cape Verde has some pride. I mean, come
yeah,
on, they drew Uruguay, they held it to Spain. It's a fascinating matchup. I can only name one player on Cape Verde. I can name the whole starting squad in Argentina. It is a match made for a underdog's dream. So
yeah,
we'll see. We will
yeah.
see. I got nothing more to add, Chad. I think we kind of killed it on that one.
No, yeah, that's kind of it. Just I'm excited to see. I mean, this Portugal Croatia game, I think, is destined for extra time and penalties, honestly. But
That's
I
just
think,
the MO.
yeah, I think it'll be good. I think we got some good games left in this round, and some spicy matchups
Yep.
coming up here for sure.
We've gone through 82 games out of the
Wow.
104. We're shockingly almost there, yet we're 19 days away. Uh,
And it feels like we just started too.
it feels like we just started. Insane. Oh man. All right. Well, Chad, on that note, it's been a pleasure.
Always.
I'll see you after the weekend once the round starts.
Yes, sir.
All right. Till then, Hooligans pitch. We're out.
Peace.